His suffering paid a price which averted a disaster which humanity as a whole would have suffered grievously had he not done that. It wasn't a forgiveness of sins, it was a manipulation of karma on our behalf.
What did he actually do in taking it upon himself? You said defer it in some way, didn't you describe it?
It was deferred because in the end, we've got to deal with it.
At some point.
So it delayed it, it put it off, it didn't happen at that time, which gives us more opportunity to evolve. I'm sorry to upset people here, but the idea that, and they used to do this on their deathbed, suddenly confess and get a priest, okay, you're forgiven. No way. I mean, it's good to confess, actually. It's good to know what you've done wrong, and it's only so that you can do right in future. But the idea that that's it, all I had to do was just sort of say X number of Hail Marys and it's done, dealt with. Sorry, no, because the lesson has to be learned. Right. It's all about, and this is the Master Jesus' New Age teaching, going back to God, realizing our divinity. That's what we're here for. That's what everyone is here for. That's what every aspect of, that's what a blade of grass is here for. That's what a pebble is here for. And the manipulation of karma is to bring about that return to God.
So you could then go back and say that forgiveness of sins would be kind of like the worst thing that could happen to you.
Well, yes. And the stupidity of it is that, parents, for example, school teachers, which I was many years ago, and so on, if a child makes a mistake, and you just say, oh, that's okay, you're forgiven. Every time they don't learn anything, they don't from it. They just have to sort of, yes, there's a place for forgiveness, and Jesus actually taught forgiveness among people. But in the end, it's experience that we require. And I think this can be very helpful, because we talked before, and you asked me before about what of people are in these dire, terrible situations. What is the point? I mean, I can't judge. I'm not in this life in that position, so I'm not going to judge anyone at all. All I would say is that if we can know why we have, for some reason which we can't fathom at the moment, it's essential for us ultimately to realize our divinity, to have these trials in this life, and hopefully only in this life, hopefully not in the next life, if we go through them correctly in this one. I think that's a strengthener, and it helps us through our own karma.